Okay, good morning all of you. Today we are going to start the first unit of English where the mind is without fear. First we are going to see the warming up activities. The very first question is pair up with your partner and match the terms with their given meanings. Here there are different ideologies has given, that is humanism, patriotism, internationalism. Ism means an ideology, or it is the different types of philosophy or the branches of philosophy. Now first we are going to see humanism. Humanism, it is a rationalistic outlook towards humans rather than a divine or supernatural one. Means we are going to give more importance to the humans rather than any divine or godly or supernatural one. It is the humanism. Second, we are going to see here patriotism. Patriotism means that is we are having the quality of being patriotic, vigorous support for one's country. That is we should have a great love for quality of being patriotic, means that is a deep love for our country. Next we are going to see the internationalism. Internationalism means that is state or process of being international, means instead of we are going to be think across our country any political border, it is called as internationalism. Then we are going to see liberalism. Liberalism, that is holding liberal views. Liberal views means what? We should not think about our country ourselves, but being liberal, that is the liberalism. Next we are going to see environmentalism. Environmentalism, that is we should care of the environment, that is a concern about the action aimed at the protecting the environment. It is called as environmentalism. Okay, the next, now the second question we are going to see here. There are different types of poems in Marathi, as there are different types of poems are there in English also. The poems are divided into different types, and these here we are going to see the different types of poem. Here some that types have given here: sonnet, limerick, ballad, elegy, free verse, epic, lyric, humorous and idyll. Here with the help of dictionary we can get the description and we can fill these blanks. A short story poem, that is often mythical. Mythical means based on the mythology, the stories of god or goddesses. It is called as, that is epic. Epic means what? A long story poems are there. That is in Indian mythology there is Ramayana, Mahabharata are the epics. It is called as mythological poems or the epic. Next we are going to see a short story poem with a message. A message has delivered from this short story poem. Might be it is of the great personalities from our country. It is called as ballad. Ballad, that is we are going to be seeing the variety of ballad of Shivaji Maharaj, that is Povada. This type of poems are called as ballad. The next, it is a poem of 14 lines. The 14 lines poems which is strictly traditional poem, and it is called as sonnet. Next, a song like poem, that is lyric. Lyric means that we are going to be sing the song for the melodious purpose. This type of songs are called as lyric. Then the next is the poem with no uniformity of rhyme, rhythm, etc. There is no any rhyme or rhythm in the poem. There is no traditional rules are going to be followed from this poem, and this type of poem is called as free verse. We are not going to be follow any meter, any rhyme scheme, any rhyming words are not there available in this poem. A conventional type of poet, it is different from the conventional type of poetry, so it is called as free verse. Then a poem set in picturesque rustic background. Rustic background means a background which is from the countryside or village. This type of poems are called as the idyll. Idyll means which is having the countryside background or the rustic background. Thereafter we are going to see a sad poem lamenting death of the loved one. When there is the death of the any near or dear one, it is called as elegy. Elegy which is going to be present the death song, that is a sad poem. Then a 5-line short funny poem with a rhyme scheme A, It is a strictly traditional poem which is going to be follow the strict rhyme scheme, and only the 5 lines would be there in that, and which is going to be follow the rhyme scheme of A, and this is called as limerick. A poem written just to create humor, means the purpose behind writing this poem, it is only humorous, and this type of poem is known as humorous. Now we are going to start Where the Mind is Without Fear. It is a very well known poem from the Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, the lifetime is 1861 to 1941. He was the author of the Gitanjali. Gitanjali, it is the anthology or the collection of the poems from Rabindranath Tagore, and it's profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful words. Profoundly sensitive means deeply sensitive, which is going to be that affect, influence our senses, which is going to be deeply make us sensitive. That is the fresh and beautiful verse. It is verse means poem. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. That is, he was not only the first Indian, but he first Asian person who get the Nobel Prize, and he was the first Indian to get or to be a Nobel Prize laureate in 1913. This poem is one of his vastly read and discussed poem. It was originally composed in Bengali, and later he himself translated it into English. And this poem is that first it was written in Bengali, and thereafter it was translated himself in English. This poem is from his Nobel Prize winning anthology Gitanjali. Anthology means the collection of the poems, and this collection of poem, it is known as Gitanjali. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British, and in this poem, besides political freedom from British, Tagore also appeals to God from social, educational and economic freedom for the people of India. When this poem was written, this poem was that the India was under the rule of British, and that time this poem was not only written for the political freedom, but the people was under the social discrimination, educational background was there, economically people was very poor, and because of this that the Tagore not only appeals God for that political freedom, but social, educational, economic freedom for the people of India. Okay, we are going to start the poem. Where the mind is without fear, and head is held high. Where the mind is without fear, when we were under the rule of British, the people were under, they were not free, they were under the fear, and because of this he is asking the God. It said this poem was a prayer, that is God is Rabindranath Tagore is going to be asking the God for the educational, political, social freedom of the people, and because of this he is dreaming for a country, a place, a heaven of freedom where the mind is without fear and head is held high. When we are free, then only we can hold our head high, and where knowledge is free. Where the knowledge is free. Before the independence, the knowledge or the education was not free for all. That is, only the few people can get the education, and because of this the knowledge was not free. It was for only few, that people from the social status. So he is going to be dreaming for the country where the knowledge is free, education is free for all. Then, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments. Fragments means the pieces, and as that not only our country but the whole world was divided into different pieces under the narrow domestic walls. Narrow domestic walls means the divisions on the basis of the religion, caste, class and color in societies between the countries of the world. Means the society was divided into these narrow domestic walls. This narrow domestic wall, these are going to be using as a metaphor here. That is, narrow domestic walls are going to be represent the divisions on the basis of religion, caste, classes, color, that society has divided into these narrow domestic walls. So he don't want that any division of the country, it should be united, and because of this he is dreaming from the country which don't have any narrow domestic wall. The country should not be divided into any fragments or the pieces. Where the words come from the depth of truth, and where that according to him there should be a people, there should be that the people should be truthful, sincere. The poet wants a country where people speak the truth sincerely, with the words coming from the depth of their hearts. That is, no one should be speak lie. The words should be come from the depth of truthfulness. Sincerity should be there among his countrymen. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, and where tireless striving should be there. Tireless striving means continuous efforts or struggle should be there, and stretches its arm means aims at achieving the goal towards perfection, means people should be take continuous efforts to reach their goals, to reach the perfection. When if we want to take the countrymen want to get the perfection, they should be do the continuous take the continuous efforts, and they have to aim towards their goals. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Here again the poet Rabindranath Tagore is going to be describe us the status, how the condition of the society was the influence of under the variety of superstition, the blind faith. This type of beliefs are really very harmful to our country, and where according to him the clear stream of reason means reason, logical thinking is going to be compared with the clear stream. It is like a clear stream, and this clear stream of reason, thinking, logical thinking, scientific attitude should be there among the people, has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. That is, the dead habits have that harmful superstitions are going to be compared with the dead habits. The dreary means gloomy, which is going to be create the darkness, sadness. This type of sand is there of the dead habits, means that we should not lose our logical thinking into the superstition, under the influence of superstitions or the blind faith. Where the mind is laid forwarded by thee, and where according to him our mind should be forwarded by thee. Thee means God here, that is, it is a type of prayer, and because of this the Rabindranath Tagore asking the God to guide us in this way. That is, the poet wants the minds of the countrymen to be led forwarded by the Almighty or the God, so that they broaden their outlook, thoughts and the actions. That is, into ever widening thoughts and action. Ever widening, broaden means we have to lose the narrow mindedness and we have to take the broaden outlook, and for this the God has to guide us into that haven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. And where that he want to create, he want to ask God for create the heaven of freedom. And my Father means Almighty, let my country awake. In the last line, the poet addresses God as my Father and asks him to awaken his country into a heaven of freedom, where people is total freedom of where there is a total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good action. His countrymen should be awakened into this heaven of freedom. Means Rabindranath Tagore not only asking for his country, but he is going to be asking for the whole world. He is going to be asked for the heaven of freedom, where all people are equal. There is unity is there, where there is a freedom of the knowledge is there. Education should be free. Like this country, he is going to be dream for his own countrymen. Okay, there are the different variety of words here. The poem is totally metaphorical, different metaphors the poet has used in this poem. Narrow domestic walls. No, narrow domestic walls means what? The country has divided into different divisions. Which divisions were there? That is the religion, the division or the discrimination based on the religion, caste, class and the color, and in societies between countries of the world. Thereafter, tireless striving. Tireless striving means continuous efforts and struggle. Means if we want to reach the perfection, we should have the tireless striving towards our goal. Stretches its arm. As we know, the birds are going to be stretch its arms when they have that decided any aim, and when we have decided our aim, then only we can reach to the perfection. So stretches its arm means what? Aims at achieving a goal. Thereafter, their dead habits. Dead habits means what? That is the old traditional rituals which is really harmful for our society. The customs, rituals, superstitions, blind faith which is really very harmful to our society. Then ever widening. Ever widening means forever broadening one's outlook. We should have the broaden outlook. We should not be narrow outlook. Then heaven of freedom. Heaven of freedom means that is the Rabindranath Tagore or the poet. He is dreaming for a country, for a place which is the heaven of freedom, where the condition of the total freedom of good thoughts, good words and the good deeds while respecting those of others. Now we are going to discuss the appreciation of the poem. As we have last year we have studied how to make the appreciation of the poem. There are few points are there. With the help of these points we can write the appreciation of the poem. First we are going to be take the point, the title of the poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore is a prayer to God. Tagore addresses God as my father and asks him to awaken his country into the heaven of freedom. Then the next point would be the poet Rabindranath Tagore we have seen. Then the theme or the central idea of the poem. This is a prayer to God. Tagore asks him to awaken his country into a heaven of freedom where there is a total freedom of good thought, good words and good action. That is according to him, he wishes for the country where people would be free from fear, where knowledge would be free to all individuals and people from all caste and religions would be united. Now rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme, that is it is written into the free verse without any rhyme scheme or meter. As there before only we have seen, there is the conventional poetry, that is which is going to be follow the strict rules, the traditional rules of the poetry, and this opposite it is the free verse. A free verse, there is no any rhyming scheme or no meter is followed. So this poem is written into the free verse format. Then rhyme scheme, that is free verse. Then figure of speech, there are variety of figures of speech has used in this poem. Among them personification is there, repetition is there, metaphor is there, alliteration is there. That is variety of figures of speech used here. An important figure of speech is personification, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. Here we can actually visualize tireless striving stretches its arm to reach its perfection. These are the variety of figures of speech used in this poem, as well as the poem is really very metaphorical one. It is going to be compared the variety of things here, which is the examples of metaphor, that is the dreary desert of sand of dead habit, which is going to be compared. The dreary desert is going to be compared with the dead habit, as well as the clear stream of reason, that is the clear stream is going to be compared with the reason. So that is the analysis or the appreciation of the poem is really very easy to write, as there are 5 points we have to follow here. That is the title of the poem, then poet, then the central idea, rhyme scheme and the figures of speeches used in this poem. Like this way we have to write the appreciation of the poem. Okay, thank you.